Hi, today we're going to go over some of the do's and don'ts of having a commercial cleaning business. My name is Penny, and I have had a commercial cleaning business for over 30 years. Actually, I started out in residential, and then I moved the business over to the commercial spectrum of things. Anyways, we're going to go over some of the do's and don'ts, and I kind of have a little checklist here. And the first is you have to decide what type of businesses you're going to start cleaning, which businesses you're going to service. And that could be anywhere from, general office cleaning, general offices, or is it going to be manufacturing, or are you going to branch out to medical buildings or retail? All of those are kind of a different setup somewhat. But anyways, you have to decide which one. I would highly suggest starting out with just generalize janitorial cleaning, regular offices first, and then you can branch out from there. A second one is that's important, which it's not an easy one, but is networking. And I have not ever liked it when people would say, "Oh, you just have to get out there and network," and you're like, it's just a frustrating thing. And I think it's because it's hard to know where to network. How do you go about it, right? The best thing to do is to try to Google some of your local activities coming up. Sometimes there'll be like business coffee get-togethers, or any like business expos and things like that. You could attend some of those type of meetings, and or sometimes your town will have businesses highlighted, like a business expo, and you could attend that, or maybe think about setting up your own booth. But you'd really want to be maybe more experienced, I would have to say, before setting up your own booth, where you have like references and things like that, if you do not have that yet. Anyhow, networking, and it's not an easy thing, I know. But I'll tell you what, one job from one company can lead to another job from another company, because they may know someone, and it's kind of like a trickle effect. That really happens a lot with residential. Another one is sometimes people, if you're going to start training, have employees, and you do want to have some sort of training program in place. And it doesn't take a lot of time, but you need to sit down and really already have a training package already made out for them. It'll make the process go much smoother. I know I've done it. The majority of the time, I used to just have them follow me around for a while and just kind of watch and learn, type thing, which that is still good on, on the job training. However, you need to have some actual training. Maybe I started compiling like some guidelines, and gave them tips on what to do, things not to do, things that were, and I did have to make a list on some things that weren't tolerated, things like that. And also you should have a policy, probably manual also. And what you can do is you may be able to Google that, and there may be some free ones you can check online. Otherwise, it's kind of expensive. But if you do happen to find one, maybe you can print it out and edit it your own way. That's just a suggestion, only if you can find free ones. But you need to have some things in place. And you can check with your accountant, attorney, whether you should have some liability type of thing signed. I don't know, but those are some things. Anyways, another big, huge thing is you want to make sure that your business is insured, and that is huge before you ever really start cleaning at all, because they will cover you. Right now, the general amount that they've been insuring, just for, I think, just like general, would be about $2 million. Your business would be insured for about $2 million. And that seems like a lot of money, but it's not when it comes to, people suing, or maybe if you're on a job and something gets damaged, it's a very high costly piece of equipment. Things like that can really add up. Anyhow, but then you also want to make sure that if you're going to have employees, you also have to have that stated on your insurance. Check with your insurance company. They will be able to guide you from there. But you want to make sure, and at that point, obviously, if you're going to have employees, you'd have to have workman's comp and things like that. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and get with some of the don'ts. And I heard one person suggest to don't do retail cleaning, because there's not been a lot of money in it lately, and it's kind of been on a downcline. I don't know if that's totally true, but you would want to really research that because cleaning is a lot of work. It's a lot of work for you, and it's a lot of work for your employees, and it's a lot of physical work, and there's also a lot of paperwork and time that's spent on these. Anyways, maybe start like I suggested with just the regular office cleaning first and go from there. Another don't is they suggest not lowering your price to get the job. Now, this is controversial, right? If you're out there bidding, we know that it makes a difference. The price is one of the big factors of it. Now, it depends on the kind of business that you're bidding. If you're bidding something that has a property manager overseeing it, I would have to say more than likely they're going to try to take the lowest bid. Their job is to save money. Or, and they may want to add some quality in there too. But a lot of times they'll take the lowest bid. Now, if you are doing individual, like you're just going to a business and you're cleaning all these individual businesses, then usually they want quality. They want that first. Not that the price doesn't matter, because it does, but sometimes that they will pay more because they want quality. And, that is something that you'll have to, kind of check in your area. It may be different in different areas. Another don't is don't forget, once you do go out and bid a job or talk to any prospect client, is to do a follow-up. Whether that is right there at the meeting that you'll say with them, okay, in a week's time we'll meet again, or whatever it may be. What I do a lot of times is I do the walkthrough, and I got everything wrote down, and then I'll tell them when I'm going to email them. Because most of the time now in this day and age, a lot of times they want email. A lot of times I will mail a hard copy also, or they may want to meet in person, and I ask them that in part of the walkthrough interview is how they would like to get their bid. And but anyways, if you do an email or any of those things, I tell them when. Okay, I will email you this afternoon, or I will email you by tomorrow, and make sure you do. And then if you don't hear anything from them, a lot of times I will, maybe in a few days, 4 or 5 days, I will take a thank you card and I'll mail it to them. Or if you only have an email contact, send them a little email. Don't be like you're bugging them, but send them a little, note saying, thank you for your time and for considering the business, and kind of leave it at that. Sometimes they get busy and they have to, set things aside, or they could be taking a lot of other bids too, and it does take time, and it could take a few weeks, it could take a while, it could take even longer than that to get the businesses sometimes. And one thing that people do not understand, it's a little bit harder to get the commercial cleaning businesses than it is the residential. Think about it. In your little town, how many homes is there versus how many businesses there are? Now, you may have a lot of businesses, but I bet you any money that, unless you're like in an industrial area, there's a whole lot more homes, so it's the ratio of that. But, the commercial portion of it, it's a lot of times they're signing contracts, and that contract could be for a year, or it could be for a couple of years, who knows, or a 3-year, I don't know. But believe it or not, most of the jobs, all of the jobs that I have over the years, I've never signed a contract. I don't highly recommend not signing one. You should probably for sure sign one. The thing of it is, what my theory was all along was I want them to keep the cleaning business because they're happy in the quality. However, it's a big risk, especially if you have employees and it's a bigger job. I highly suggest signing the contract. The only thing is I don't like about that is time goes by really fast. And let's say you signed a contract for a year. Well, they might not be thinking about rejudging the cleaning or getting other bids in a year's time. Time goes by and they just, things are going smooth. We'll just, stay with your business, and they're happy. However, if every year that contract comes up and it expires and they have to renew it, they more than likely, a lot of times, it depends, but they may be wanting to shop around for other cleaning companies every year. It brings it to the forefront. So, it's kind of like a thing if you do, ding if you don't. Use your own discretion. Another thing is that you don't want to seem overly eager when you're going out and bidding on the jobs. You want to be eager, like, yes, this is important to you and you want the job and things like that, but you don't want to bug them, People don't like to be bugged. However, you kind of do have to stay slightly persistent, because that way it will remind them, and it will show that you have interest in the job. But if they call you, return that call right away. If they want to meet with you, set it up as soon as possible. And when I go to clean a job, and even when I've had the job for years, because a lot of them I've had for a lot of years, I've had some of them for 18 years, some of them for 15 years. I've had a lot of the different jobs over, for a lot of years. But no matter, when I go to talk to them, I try to talk to them like their job is the most important. You know what I mean? I don't talk about any of my other jobs. Very rarely, unless I reference something like, oh, well, on another job, I seen this type of issue on the floor and this is how it was solved. Something like that. But you want to give them your undivided attention on their business, because that's what matters to them. They don't really want to hear about the other businesses that you're cleaning, But when you're there, you want to give them your undivided attention, and you make it seem like their business is number one to you. It's just a really great way of promoting your business, and you should be concerned about the businesses. And the thing of it is yes, you're doing this to make money, but you also want to provide a really nice service, because that is the key to cleaning. Whether it's commercial, whether it's residential, you have to have quality, or you will lose accounts, or you will lose different jobs that you've had, and you won't get the references that you need. And that is everything in this business. But I've always really enjoyed the cleaning. I still do. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and I still do love to clean. Now, I have scaled it down some from what it used to be because of getting older, and I've been doing it for a long time, but I still had the cleaning jobs. I still go out and clean jobs. Now, that's just a personal thing. It's up to everyone else on how they want to do it. It is a challenge sometimes to have employees. I would not suggest hiring a bunch of employees until you have some jobs lined up, because it's really hard to find the employees to begin with, and you don't want to leave them hanging or whatever. But if you do find somebody that you can maybe work in on a few of your jobs until a bigger one comes up, and it's to keep that employee, then that's understandable too. But anyways, hopefully you've enjoyed this today. I've decided to do a few other videos too in regards to the commercial cleaning, and please leave in the comments if this was beneficial to you. Hopefully you got some valuable content out of this, and if you can do me a favor and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. And also do a thumbs up. Have a blessed day. Thank you.